ShinerCCC. Both of these captains, you and I met in Victoria at Gatakon.
Yes.
And the ThePimpImp I remember mostly because of his name.
There were some classy names there at Gatakon, and the ThePimpImp actually was the captain for Team Straight Jitlers, and they were actually one of the first teams we casted. They won the top bracket all the way through, and then they had to wait for the bottom bracket to finish. So they had to wait. They were basically left cold for a couple hours while everybody else played on the PCs, and they came back and they played against 25 Minutes, who ended up going on and winning the tournament. And they started kind of a rivalry there. Those teams have been up in Victoria, and they've been going to the local lands and actually competing with each other, trading tournaments back and forth. So really excited to actually see both these teams involved.
And Rhett, the captain, ShinerCCC, he was actually not playing in the event, to my knowledge, but he knew a lot of the players there. He's actually the admin for the Victoria League of Legends group on Facebook, and this guy was an all-star because he had a ton of energy, and
more energy than anyone I've ever seen in my life. Like, the guy, he's one of those people that you walk up to and you must think that his blood isn't actually blood, it's just coffee. That just he's drank so much coffee that his blood has turned to coffee, and that's how he sustains himself. Just pure caffeine.
Because it was literally after 3 games, I was like, I'm done highwaying, clocking out. Because we got there at I want to say noon. The tournament, or the doors didn't open until 5. The tournament didn't start till 8ish or so. 1 in the morning hits, and I'm like, GG guys, I'm out. I'm busy making sure getting the tournament run and organized, making sure the brackets are getting updated. And you're over there just I got this, guys. Man, #1 caster, let's go. And Rhett shows up, and Rhett's like, oh, I'd love to cast, and he has all this energy. We're like, here you go, here's our mic. And sure enough, you two actually worked out really well. You guys cast all the way, I want to say, to 6 or 7 in the morning.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
At one point, I'm like, Khaled, we have to go sleep for at least a little bit of time because you have to drive home tomorrow, and we had to drive back from Victoria to Seattle. And I'm like, I don't want you to be taking a napping behind the wheel. So thanks, it was awesome to have Rhett step in and fill in. So great job for him, and I'm glad to get him in this event. So this is great. Why don't you quickly talk about the fans and picks? I'm gonna talk to Coach real quick, and
all right, I will do that. All right, so one thing I have to point out to you guys behind the scenes, the ThePimpImp told me before this game, he goes, Callan, don't tell anybody, but I'm gonna leave Blitzcrank open, and I'm gonna first pick Blitzcrank because that's all. ShinerCCC, he's been playing a ton of Blitzcrank lately. I'm gonna steal that Blitzcrank from him. It's gonna be a big deal. I'm really good at Blitzcrank. That's what we're both known for. I'm gonna steal it from him. It's gonna be a big moment. And he starts out, and for some reason, he blanks and bans Blitzcrank, and he messages me literally in game. I think some of you might have seen that. Messages me in game, and he's like, yeah, I just banned Blitzcrank, and I have no idea. So, yeah, so great strategies coming through here, clearly. And some new icons in there that I haven't seen. The new Twisted Fate icon. It almost looks like, the icon looks like Viger. It doesn't even look like Twisted Fate down there.
Yeah, the Mundo icon's new, the Amamu icon's new, Jax is new.
But it's not just me, right? That looks like Viger. It looks like a dark blue hat, and it doesn't look like Twisted Fate to me.
I think it looks awesome because the splash art's all changed as well.
Yeah, the splash art's cool. Some of the new splash art they've had for Akali and stuff like that are pretty awesome. And some interesting picks coming out of here. The ThePimpImp's team running team minimal damage. They got the Sajani coming out with for the hot jungle action. Right now, I'm a little bit more scared of the ShinerCCC team, but we'll see what they decide to round it out here. What do they give Double O Samer? I see Rise wasn't banned. Oh, wow. Is he going to try to carry hard with the LeBlanc?
I hope not. LeBlanc is terrible pick against Anivia because LeBlanc is all about bursting someone down, and Nivea's is like, well, I got my egg here, and so...
Yeah, the only one thing I could give him is that maybe, I don't know. Anivia's good at pushing, too, so it's not even like he can, get out of lane really that easily against Anivia. He's going to have wave bounce against his turret. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what he decides to go with. If you feel like you can carry hard enough, she can be good. The problem is you are on a clock, and we also know that Anivia's really good defensively. So let's say they get into a game, and ShinerCCC's team calls the stalemate. Let's wait till LeBlanc is irrelevant. They can pull that card.
I love how I believe both captains playing support here. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's the key role to be placed if you're. I don't. They might be trading down. Who knows? We do not know yet. Could see some swaps. It is pretty common for. I know ShinerCCC probably playing support. I know that's what he played before. I know he wanted to play Blitzcrank. And actually, they probably are both playing support because I know the ThePimpImp wanted to play Blitzcrank fiercely, and I imagine they were both going to be in the support role. So. Interesting. Maybe they can feel like they can call the games better from those positions, and that's just the position they're more comfortable with.
I would expect to see the Malphite pick here. Malphite's been pretty popular, somewhat a flavor of the month. But Malphite, Kale, seen a lot of those guys going top recently here in the last month, and probably pretty good against Riven. Most of Riven's damage is heavily physical based. Malphite benefits from stacking armor, so. We don't know if that'll be Malphite in the jungle, as we assume it's Malphite top, because it was not only a last pick to counter pick, but they also have Nocturne on their team. We're going to go ahead and count this down. We'll probably reveal summoner spells here in about 30 seconds. Meanwhile, Callie, do you want to tell us a little bit about Judgment and why we brought this brand to the Vancouver metro area and why we're calling it Judgment BC now?
Yeah, I'd love to. So Judgment came about because, a lot of players, they just don't have, they have some friends that play it, but not all of them want to play competitive. They want to get into the competitive scene, but, how do you do that? So we came up with this format here. We get 8 captains, and they draft from a pool of 32 players. And those ELOs range from, 2K players, 2,400 players, all the way down to unranked players. And what it does, it gives, it feeds two ideals. Like, you have the lower end players that, don't necessarily get the chance typically to play with higher ranked players. I mean, unless you have one that's your friend or something like that. And they can play in a tournament setting for real prizes on the line, and they can get that experience and learn from those, the better players. At the same time, not necessarily that ELO means everything, and we're going to get tons of those, but, those higher ranked players that have more experience, for them, they have they have to play in a new environment where not everyone on their team is up to their level. How do they take advantage of the fact that they're a better player? How do they coach their teams? There's a lot of strategy for the captains, how they pick their teams, what role they put different players in. So it's a really, really fun format. And the other thing that challenges the top tier players is we have MVP. So anybody can get MVP on a team. Whoever contributes the most, whatever pick yields the most value. At the end of our tournament, we're gonna ask the winning captain of their team, who was your MVP, and that player will also get a $10 RP card. So, for the top players, there's incentive too to play because, hey, if I play really well and I carry my team and I do a great job, then, hey, I can make even more RP out of winning this tournament. So it's a really, really fun format, and, it's been really successful in the Washington area, which is what we've mainly been running it in. We've had certain captains like X Steve Y, like Mr. Bonnie Tensu X, who has actually made the Battlefy system for us, come down and play in our tournament. So we said, hey, you know what? Why don't we take it up to a new market? Let's give a new community a way to grow and to play in this tournament, because our signups are filling up in 5 minutes. So we're like, hey, you know what? Let's go to this other market. Let's give them a chance to play in the tournament. And so we started Judgment BC. So for the BC area, Vancouver, Richmond, Victoria, anywhere up there, you have a Judgment for you now. So it's more likely that you can get in, play in this awesome tournament series, which we really love to bring to you guys.
And that being said, in 10 days, there's going to be Vancouver.
Yeah.
And I think the plan is there's going to be a big 16-team event at Vancouver. They're going to be playing for some big prizes. I don't know if I can get Spencer on stream. I'm going to later on, but we might be able to get to him and talk to him, give us a little bit of information about Vancouver. But the plan is, after day one, there's going to be some teams that have already been eliminated out of pool play. So maybe on day 2, we get an opportunity to run something like Judgment live, where we're going to take 40 signups. We're going to have players that love to play League of Legends, maybe players that signed up for the StarCraft 2 or the Counter-Strike event and didn't get a chance to play in the major League of Legends event. We're going to get some of those players and we'll play something similar like this. Judgment can be ran in less than 4 hours between the draft and the play. We've already got the Riot Points, our Riot Prize support set up for it, so we're looking forward to doing that potentially at Vancouver. So if you haven't signed up for Vancouver because maybe you don't have a team, but you're going to go and have fun at the LAN event because you want to bring your own computer. It's going to be at the Richmond Oval. I highly recommend you go ahead and sign up. I think it's like $55, but you can get like a $10 discount, so maybe $45. It's good for 3 days. Potentially playing a Judgment event, or 2. We might be running more than 1. So I think that'll be really cool. Let us know on our Facebook page how you feel about the event, the format. The idea being you get 40 players, which is the minimum number to get Riot Prize support. You get players that sign up as individuals. You select 8 captains, whether they're well-known or within the community or well-known as players. Those captains go ahead and draft those teams, and then we take 8 teams and play just like Schoolyard. I think I was using Dodgeball, for example. But, being last pick is not about being the fat kid. In our earlier judgments, I think Judgment 1 and 2, XTY was a participant. He's now been a captain in both our original Judgment and now Judgment BC. So it's all about having fun. We have no room for trolls, scumbags, or douchebags. Or ragers. Like, we want to have fun. It's community driven. So with that being said, we're going to jump into this game. We've got Team ThePimpImp versus Team ShinerCCC, the battle for Victoria.
Word. And one little quick thing, if you guys head over to our Facebook, I'm going to make a post really quickly. We're going to ask you guys to guess the KDA and the CS of 00 Samer, the guy you saw in that top 5 plays of the week, and the closest person will win a prize after the end of this game. We will cut it off, have Hey Kelso probably cut it off a couple minutes after. And so guys, make sure you get in your guesses. I'm going to post it right now. So 00 Samer is on the block. So guess is KDA by the end of the game, and CS will be the tiebreaker if the KDAs are even.
Yep, so you'll probably have a few minutes after the game gets started. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take a stab. I'm going to be like 16, 4, and 7. And like 130 CS. That's the high wins guess.
And he's going to lose. No, I'm joking. That's the typical LeBlanc move.
Wait, can I win?
No, I'm sorry.
Dang it. Well, it doesn't look like Max113 has connected yet. Maybe they'll have an opportunity to reconnect. If for some reason he can't reconnect, God forbid he doesn't have to like close his client and then relog in. That would be terrible and unfortunate. But hopefully he should be able to reconnect here. And we will find out once we get into game. One thing I'm excited is that Ludus is playing Sejuani. I'm a big fan of Sejuani jungle. I don't think she's quite the top tier of junglers, mainly because she doesn't bring a lot of late game, other than her ults for counter initiation or even initiation. Oh, pause feature! What?
Yeah, there's pause feature in this game.
Oh, that's awesome. Can I move around with pause feature? No, I can't.
No, the ThePimpImp asked me before this game. He's like, "Hey, can we use the pause feature?" And I was like, "If it's warranted, then yes, you can use the pause feature. And if they're waiting for a player to reconnect, then that would be warranted." So we're gonna see. Maybe we'll have the player rejoin. If it's something where he has to relog, that's unfortunate. And I don't think the 30-minute allowance will allow for that. Maybe.
Oh, sweet. There, I turned my chat on. Because it's off by default, and it says Max is reconnecting. So that's good to know. Hopefully he reconnects, and the game is still going. Otherwise, they would be allowed to remake. We don't actually post our rules for game remakes, but it's pretty typical and standard. If First Blood has not happened yet, and for some reason, whether it's disconnects, and now we have a pause feature, that's great. We can go ahead and do remakes. Client crashes, that type of stuff. But I'm excited to see a pause feature. This is great. And it's cool because it's like super grayed out, and it's got this really cool like...
It's got the sepia feel to it.
Yeah. So, go ahead. And, since I'm in game right now, I'm going to go ahead and change it from blue and purple to blue and red.
All right. We're going to get those in order. Is that the goal here?
So, I'll be like... There we go. So colorblind mode is enabled here for Highwind, which means he might refer to the blue and red team.
And also to give you guys a head up, coming up late in September in Seattle, we will have the end of summer LAN. We're not quite sure on the format there, but we will have League of Legends there. So definitely go check out the Seattle Versus website. Check out the end of summer. Stay, keep that on your mind. Check out, see what's going on with that. It will be an amazing tournament. We're going to have StarCraft 2 there, fight games, all sorts of cool stuff. So make sure you check that out. And it looks like the game is back underway. We got Anivia back in. The quick pause feature working out here.
And we do see some pings for invade, but what I was going to say, quickly regarding the Seattle versus, some of our stream swag has been donated to us by the Seattle versus sponsor and the owner of the guy that actually owns the event and he's hosting the event. So if you do get a chance, maybe go to this Facebook page and we'll provide all the information for that. But let's go ahead and jump right into this game. It looks like the red team is looking to potentially invade.
Yeah, just waiting for Anivia to catch up here. Her stun is going to be really valuable on this invade too. It is an AoE stun, so if she does land it, it can actually be really, really huge. See if they are able to catch someone here. See if they do the loop around, or they're going to go straight in there. And I don't know exactly what was up with that Q shot right there, because it wasn't far enough to check the brush.
I think it was a warning shot.
Yeah, it's like, we're coming, just don't even be here.
So this is where I do like to invade like this, especially based on timing. If you do it a little bit quicker, it's good because you can find out if they're prepping for that blue side. Then what I like to do is drop a ward, have my entire team blue pill, and then go to our side, and which is what looks like they're doing. But right now they're going to be giving up their blue buff, and they could be running into a bad situation. So their jungler is going to be a little bit behind. Looks like he is going to start race, but if he does get a leash on red, someone's going to be late to lane.
Yeah.
It's just things to like to notice when you consider invades. Now Ludus did get a proper leash. He got to do the wolves. The red team's going to come in here and find out that that blue buff is gone. So what Nocturne may want to do is just run over to the enemy blue buff after he takes red here. And
yeah, let's see if he actually saves his smite. That might be a good idea, possibly, if he wants to do that. But he's really low right now. He's actually going to use his smite. So he might run over there, but actually be pretty dangerous. Now, the one thing, again, like Highwind was saying there, if you do that invade, one, you want to be quick about it. And, maybe part of that was the fact that, their player came in late. So maybe that, deters some of that. But meanwhile, we actually have a gank going on up top, possibly. Nocturne biding his time here. Maybe going to try to get Strike Kaze to use his broken wings. Get rid of that escape mechanism. Only time will tell. But yeah, if you are going to do it, you want to do it quick. And the other thing is you want to have wards. Usually I go 4 wards if I know my team's going to do that type of build. So I have an extra ward in there. And lots of aggression by LeBlanc. But LeBlanc is low as well. Still wouldn't burn that egg. And there we go. There's the engagement. He's on a little bit of a mouth fight, getting that advantage. But he's still going to get feared after the flash. So flash is burned. And you know what? Nocturne might decide to just stick up there a little bit. But the wave is pushing. So it looks like he's going to carry on with his jungle.
Yeah, so the problem, it really wasn't a bad idea to waste that much time top. It's not a great idea, but it wasn't a bad idea because he didn't get a proper leash and his jungle start was slow. He had to use burn through all 3 of his pots. So he had the boots and 3 pots. And someone should mute their cell phone.
Yeah, whatever.
Some aggression here in bot lane. And Leona just going in, popping some spells. They did not come out on top of that exchange. LLC Rambo getting a ton of harass down here. They do have their bonus level, bonusing by the terms that both the bot lane for the blue team is level 3. Caitlyn's level 3 and Janet's still level 2, but the red team is still looking at level 2. But what I was saying with Nocturne is the reason why it wasn't so bad to waste all that time up top was that he was waiting for his smite to refresh.
Yeah, and we might have a little sneaky action coming from Ludus right here. They actually smartly placed that pink ward in that bottom brush that was not warded. He knows that they do not know he is there. Just going to wait for the proper moment to move in. Looks like Nocturne take over middle, and there we're going to have the engagement on. LC Rambo getting a lot of damage coming here. ShinerCCC flashing, trying to get out of this, but he is slow enough, and that will be first blood. Great patience and great play right there by the PimpImps team.
Yeah, they're playing. Janna obviously playing smart here, understanding how important it is to have brush control, and that early pink paid off in dividends.
Yeah, it was a really smart play. It's one of the main things about bot lane, if you're playing AD or support in that lane, is brush control is key. You have to be able to see into it. Otherwise, that is a really common place now. Because junglers, they've gotten smarter. They know they can't just run down river. Sometimes they might try to come behind in your tri-brush. But mainly they know, if you have brush control and there's no wards there, they can just come right up the lane through the brush. That's a very common tactic, and brush ward is, it's important because of ganks, but it's also important in lane, just being able to keep tabs on your opponent and not getting zoned out. And Ivy under a lot of pressure again. This is some great play here by Double O Samer. Not letting Olivia farm and be comfortable in lane. And it looks like it might have disconnected. That would be unfortunate. Again, we had first blood already, though, so there will be no game restart.
Yeah, and what we might wait for is to see if they do another pause. I don't know if you only get one pause type thing, but I'd hope you get more than one pause.
Yeah, I actually haven't played around with the pause feature yet at all, so I'm not sure how that works.
So quite a bit of damage here going down on Malphite. He does have a pot. He should be able to pot up, and he should be able to stay here for this creep wave. I don't think they're going to dive him, and that's good. The worst thing in the world would be to die top lane and then miss out on that's almost a double wave of creeps.
Yeah, looks like Ludus thought about it, backed off, sees Nocturne. It's like both tops going to back off here, and the thing about that does that Nocturne, even if he doesn't want to commit to anything, it does back off the top lane and gives Malphite some room to farm. Looks like Ludus finally coming around to their blue buff.
Good pink ward placement. Basically a counter ward. They saw that Riven was doing a more aggressive warding, in a sense, that she placed it in the tri-brush instead of maybe somewhere in the river, and so they recognized that and they placed a pink ward there, which is going to allow Nocturne to actually come through tri-brush. And I mean, Nocturne is Nocturne. He can ult from just about he's got a longer gank range with his ult. So
yeah, I agree. And I'm actually a big advocate of the pink ward top lane, and I think we don't see it enough. It looks like Johnny coming bottom again, ShinerCCC under a lot of pressure. ShinerCCC did a pretty big engagement down there, and it was just Rambo. Rambo was down there by himself. He did the engagement as Leona. Ezreal came in, threw his Q, landed it, but in the end, ShinerCCC actually ended up taking more damage in that trade, which is kind of a bad thing. ShinerCCC's coming up here, might get a stun off, but I think he's just going to be fodder and a kill here shortly. And yeah, it's going to fall before the fight even starts. Looks like Nocturne's going to go down as well. And the ThePimpImp's team is doing a great job here controlling this jungle. And now they're pressuring Ezreal. Ezreal has a lot of good juke moves, so they're probably going to leave him alone. Just quit while they're ahead. Maybe take Dragon here. And it looks like that is what they're going to do.
Now, I do know, I have the chat turned on. I haven't seen anything that says, hey, by the way, our Nivea's AFK, or hey, are reconnecting. Hey, maybe we should try and pause it. They are getting a pretty big advantage here, being 5v4.
Yes, they are, and actually, I am kind of, I wonder, if it is how many pauses you do get. Chat's probably yelling at us, telling us exactly how many pauses, how it works, but I'm surprised they actually haven't paused. So, I would be fine if the other team was like, hey, we need to pause, our guy's gone.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect it to be somewhat respectful. Now, if the blue team, they may or may not know. Basically, I mean, the blue team, if they did know, I don't know if I would have taken Dragon there. I think I might have been a little more gentleman-like, but you know what? We are playing for Riot points, and it is unfortunate. But he has reconnected.
He's back. So definitely not something you want from your carry AP mid, but Anivia is a character. She can farm pretty well. She can come back. A little bit of bonus is Nocturne actually spends a little bit more time in that lane, soaking up some extra experience. He'll be a little bit higher level. Looks like Malphite's a level up on Riven. And actually Easy's up a level, so actually kind of maybe helped him out a little bit, having him buff a little bit.
Malphite's probably going to have to ult out of this, yep. The power of Sejuani.
It's once you got the hold of it, you have to use flash or something. something to get the heck away. Otherwise, you're going to be slowed forever. ShinerCCC taking a lot of harassment.
Yeah, he keeps eating that pit over Peacemaker, and
yeah, the thing about that is, is a long wind-up time, and you're running straight away, so sometimes it is hard to dodge. But the thing is, Leona, she really needs to get kills early. She really needs to get involved early, get tanky early. Otherwise, with just boots, it's not going to work out for him. And it looks like we're going to have another kill top against Malphite. Luda's doing a great job here, actually, roaming around as Sajani, a man after your own heart a little bit, maybe. Representing that Sajani way.
Yeah, he's actually been in. I think that's what I've been doing lately as a jungler is, like, okay, I'm not getting a lot of kills, or hey, even when my team's losing, I still like because a lot of times if you're ever in solo queue and you are playing a jungler, and every now and then you're probably going to get blamed, oh, we lost because so-and-so didn't gank my lane, blah, 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 jungler didn't gank my lane. Oh, man, this is really unfortunate that it's like a 4-level advantage.
Oh, but actually might get the kill out of this. Pick the right target. Is going to get feared, so Nocturne actually will pick that up. Get some bonus gold in there.
Yeah, and the assist will go to Anivia, which is going to be good.
And so Johnny actually needs to be careful a little bit there, because if Nocturne, turns around, he actually can do a surprising amount of damage.
Uh-oh, Shiner going to eat another round of harass. Walk onto that cupcake.
It'll be interesting to see, what happens later game. I would have expected, with a Leona to have a little bit more of a solid, more aggressive, like a Graze type of AD in there. But, because Easy can be good. Like, don't get me wrong, he can be good. But the fact that, you can actually hide behind the waves a little bit to dodge a lot of his damage kind of mitigates a little bit, of his aggressive power. And as far as, like, late game goes, he's good, but he's not the type of AD that I'm super scared of, against, Caitlyn late game.
Yeah. I typically prefer, like a Corki. Corki's well-known combo with Leona, and the fact that his Gatling gun can trigger all of Leona's passives as she applies them. It's almost immediately. Plus, you have the armor shred, and and has the Valkyrie in terms of escape. So right now, Ezreal is going to be really popular. Pulsefire Ezreal will be making his debut here soon. As a matter of fact, I was playing Ezreal, although I was playing him poorly as an AP mid Ezreal.
Yeah, we're gonna see a lot of Ezreals. If you're in solo queue and you want to not be trolled, it's
just ban him.
Yeah, I mean, just ban Ezreal because he's gonna be played by so many people just to play that skin. And the skin is cool. Don't get me wrong, but the skin does not mean you are going to win games.
No, it does not.
RP does not win you games, unfortunately, in League of Legends. A lot of people wish it did. You could buy items with real money, like on the Diablo 3 real money auction house, but League of Legends is not that game. Not that kind of game. You can just buy cool-looking character skins with your RP.
So Malphite will have to ult again to use this, but that's fine.
As long as it's not right before a big dragon team fight and he's there, it's okay. He can survive with it.
What I'd like to see is Nocturne come down here and combine the Ezreal and Leona ult.
Yeah, I'd like to see a little more presence from him. I think he's been locked mid a little bit to trying to help out Anivia just to sustain and live.
Yeah.
It looks like they shifted the blue buff to Ezreal bottom actually, so to give it to Anivia. Probably felt that was a little bit safer. And actually, Nocturne is all over Double O Samer right now. Samer actually have to pop everything he has to get out of that alive. Some great burst damage there, and that actually will give Anivia some breathing room.
He could have used his ult there, but I think he might have been short on mana, and it might have been detrimental. So it's probably a good thing he didn't. Uh-oh, they are going to go in here on Kate. A lot of damage going down. There's the exhaust.
It is a great exhaust, but it doesn't really matter. FCRM is just eating it. Doesn't even care.
Oh, the Ignite will pick up.
Survive. Ludus getting there just a hair too late. But I'm still impressed by LCRM. He takes that full combo and he doesn't. He just eats it. He's like, whatever, I'm good.
They got to be careful here because Sejuani does have the ult. It is long range, and I think they will kill him.
They definitely want to go in for this, and that will be a pickup kill. Great patience there. Not trying to build the ult too early. Waiting for Ezreal's Arcane Shift to go off to go on cooldown. So LC Rainbow just gets to farm here and push this lane. LC Rainbow 107 CS to Ezreal's 88, so getting a little bit of advantage there. Plus he has 2 kills. So right now the 80 carry looking very, very strong for the team, the ThePimpImp.
And one thing to communicate was that Caitlyn did have to blow her flash there. Well, I don't think she had to blow it, but she did blow it. So if the red team does communicate that, they could say, hey, Nocturne, right now Caitlyn only has, maybe 1 escape, which is her 90 caliber net, and we can be a little more aggressive against Caitlyn, especially if she finds herself out of position. And I'm gonna go ahead and just do a quick CS recap. If we look at the top lane,
I think ShinerCCC might be in a little bit of trouble here. We have Double O Samer looping around. There is only the support there. I'm just waiting for him to probably hop over the wall here and just go all in. Now it's a little bit more dangerous because Ezreal has shown up, but they're probably just waiting here. He's probably going to be able to come in and basically just blow up one person right away, is my guess.
Yeah, they're going to be aggressive.
Trying to push this really, really hard, but ShinerCCC is being aggressive on the way back. Now his turnaround. Great jump, actually, to try to get out of that situation by jumping to LeBlanc, but LeBlanc just easily blows him up. That's a tough position. There's really nothing you can do there.
I do like Shiner's aggression, though. Reminds me a little bit of our friendly neighborhood Amamu player, Kabam, who also plays Leona.
Yeah, and you should be aggressive. The problem is there's not winning the trades. Janna's actually a really good counter pick to Leona in lane.
Yep.
So it's just really, just not working out for him. And again, like I said, Easy is like, he's a great hero, but I don't know if it's necessarily the best pair with him. And he's been doing pretty good. I mean, they were able to pick up the Janna in that one trade. But he's just basically going to be a free kill. If he goes in, he's basically going to have to sacrifice his body if they want to come out of it. Unless they have some Nocturne support.
Looks like Rambo's going to blue pill, and Janna's just going to drop a ward. They might be able to catch Janna somewhat out of position. And now there's another disconnect. Wow, unfortunately.
Oh,
okay.
He's already reconnected. All right, awesome.
Yeah,
that's good to know. He's like, hey, I was trying to run to Dragon. What is this?
The red team not having the best of luck with connection. And even though it does feel like the game is a little bit out of control, that's not quite the case.
No, I don't think it's out of control at all yet. Like I said, LeBlanc is a character that does fall off. Obviously, she's really strong right now, and Anivia basically eats one combo and has to back. Probably just going to try to farm up these wolves here, get something done in the meantime. Just farm as much as he can, but he can catch up. If he plays passively, plays defensively, they can get back in this game and have a good chance.
Both junglers have shown some presence here in the bot lane or near the bot lane, and they are going to run into each other. Ludus, a little out of the trouble, will have to dash over this wall.
ShinerCCC is there for the stun. There's the Nocturne ult coming in there. Howling Gale just barely going to miss, but great counter initiation, and in comes LeBlanc, and I think the Nocturne is in a lot of trouble trying to get that fear tether off. Doesn't matter. Double kill for Double O Samer, and now they're going to press in on this bottom turret. Probably take it. Ezreal's probably going to have to back off here. Might ult to clear a wave, maybe, but doesn't look like he actually has enough mana. Or an ult. So, yeah, he's going to lose bottom turret. Actually, that is a mistake sticking around there. He's going to get popped up by Howling Gale. The infinite slows from Johnny coming in here, and they will pick up another kill.
Yeah, Ludus on Sejuani is actually looking really good. I know it's been at one point a 5v4, but, the brush gank at level 4 was strong, has been rotating around the map, and still getting the farm in.
I think, when I watch junglers play, the thing that sets out the top junglers, it seems like they're always in the right position at the right time. And, even though they did have the advantage, I feel like Ludus has been in the correct position a lot more times than Nocturne has, to be, to contribute to ganks and other stuff like that, or counter gank.
Yeah, and Nocturne is very much the get ahead and stay ahead type jungler. Very hard to deal with from behind. Whereas Sejuani, worst case scenario, you build some GP10s and...
Double O Samer's going to have to pull some moves here, getting chased down here, but he actually does have another dash in his holster if he wants to use his ult to copy that spell, which we might see here. There's another dash trying to get out of this, and Ezreal's come in too to help us out. They will finally picking up strike. Kaze starting to finally not get the better of Malphite top here as well. And Red, showing some signs of life here, making a little bit of a comeback, a little bit of a push. If I look at the bottom lane situation, ADs, looks like Caitlyn has 148 CS, already has that Infinity Edge, has the double Dorans, the boots, and the Vampiric Scepter. If we look across the way at Ezreal only has the BF sword right now, and it looks like he has a Sapphire Crystal, maybe going for, I guess, what he would go for a Sheen or something there?
Oh, an Ezreal?
Yeah.
Yep, he's probably going to go into a Sheen at some point. I might go for like a IE or Bloodthirster Triforce. It's kind of an expensive build, but the problem with Ezreal is he doesn't really quite do a lot of damage that you would want from your typical like auto attacking carry. He actually has to cast spells to do it. So he does have quite a bit of burst, and I think the Sheen would help to that regard.
Ezreal trying to steal the blue.
Malphite's going to be in a lot of trouble.
If
But we'll know to
actually able to catch him, I think he probably should be able to get out of this pretty safe. Looks like he's going to ult back to his turret, just keep on running. Blue team might decide to take that top turret. Looks like a double saber at least going to rotate back towards mid. And I like the early, I like the oracles actually on Sejuani right here. It's actually good. They're going to get map control as well, vision control, ward control, all that good stuff. ShinerCCC turning right around. Does not want to place a ward there.
What they really want is to get a blue buff on Anivia, and unfortunately, with the disconnects and with the counter jungling and the aggressive play, Shiner will get the exhaust down.
Is going to get locked down though by that LeBlanc chain, so he will be picked up there. But again, that's just going to be his life for this game. He's going to have to give it up. It looks like another dragon will be going to the team, ThePimpImp. Even when they had a chance to give Anivia blue, they decided to give it to Ezreal instead because it's actually more dangerous to give it to Anivia, in a lane with a LeBlanc that's ahead of you in levels and farm and stuff like that because you've been DC'd. So they couldn't even really give Anivia blue at all just for that simple fact. It would be dangerous. You'd be risking giving up a blue buff to LeBlanc. And that mid turret doesn't look like it has like any life at all. It has 8 hit points, the mid turret does. A butterfly could land on it and that mid turret's going down.
The LeBlanc laughed coming in there. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, it's very much reminiscent of the Lux laugh as well. Kind of a little more snooty, a little bit more of a snooty Lux laugh. And ShinerCCC getting slowed again, possibly going to die again. LeBlanc actually backing off his teammates, coming in, helping him out there. Not going to let him die again. Yeah,
he's going to want to be careful. He did buy a counter oracles, but unfortunately he's behind. And Leona, she only has her 2 GP10 items. She's not very tanky. Normally you want to get those 2 GP10s. You want to get like an Aegis before you buy your oracles so that when the team fights happen, you can somewhat survive those.
Yeah, because you pretty much have to be in there. Another thing, thinking back to those combos that they were trying to land, on Rambo there as well, I'd have to think too that possibly a lot of it too is that Ezreal wasn't waiting for the passive. And ShinerCCC, that is the kind of aggression you don't want. Do a 4v1. Ace will come off. Will land onto Legend. A matter of fact, and Nocturne counter ult getting pushed away by Janna. And, Ezreal throwing his ult through there, trying to make something happen, but it's not going to happen. I'm actually a little surprised earlier when they actually rotated bottom there that we didn't see the blue team put more damage on that turret because they did, but we had Rambo running past the turret a little bit, trying to egg something on, I guess, or something. But I would expect to put a little. They had a chance to put that turret down to almost gone if they wanted to during that time.
So it looks like Malphite did rotate mid. One thing to note is Malphite is pretty much winning his lane. He's got the CS advantage. He's got the early GP 10s. He has completed a Frozen Heart. Would be great if they were in some sort of team fight, but unfortunately he hasn't been able to leave his lane. I think we'll see the end of laning phase complete here soon. Nivea will get this blue buff. And, Nivea's not that far behind. Still behind, don't get me wrong, but She's got blue buff now. Anivia will always still be strong against a team that just wants to try and push. She has a multitude of ways to deal with. Wow, that Caitlyn's got balls.
Yeah, well, I mean, the truth is, if you look at the blue team, they don't have a lot of great wave clearing to push in on you. Like, they have Piltover, Peacemaker, and that's about it. And Anivia's just going to be able to stop any push. So pushing them is going to be hard. They're going to have to do pick-off kills like you see them doing now, and then they're going to have to try to convert turrets after they have the advantage. They won't be able to really push 5v5, which is kind of a bad thing. And there's actually a disconnection for the blue team. They're actually going to be a little bit of good guys and back off here. And there's the pause now.
Wait. This is interesting.
Maybe the red team doesn't know how to pause. That would be my guess.
Get, like, Max leaves the game, they don't pause. Then immediately, as soon as Lewis gets disconnected, we have a pause feature.
Well, I think part of it too, to be fair, I think part of it, because this is a new feature that hasn't been available to people, players probably just didn't think about it. Like, even though it happened at the very beginning of the game, I think it's very quick that people could just be like, oh, I'm used to not playing with pause feature. This is just disconnect, and we're going to have to go through this. And so I think, that could be part of it, too. Would like to see the pause feature used for the other team, too, though. So right now, as we're looking at the screen right here, it's like, LeBlanc's pushing mid onto that mid turret. We have most of the blue team roaming that top jungle. Ezreal's bottom by himself. Looks like he's probably going to try to rotate up to his team, help out here, or blue pill. And Anivia coming from base just bought up. She actually looks like she rushed an Archangel staff, which is kind of... I don't know about this build. Like, I'm not a big fan of the Anivia build right now. I feel like if you do need mana... I think Archangel staff is almost a little bit obsolete on her now. I think you go... Catalyst, you go Run of Age, you go Tanky. Obviously, she did DC, but Archangel's really expensive for what it does. Like, you actually don't get that much of advantage, like cost per ability wise. Like, it's Archangel staff really not that great. Like,
right.
What's actually better is to go with that new Athene's Holy Grail. You see the chalice there on Anivia already, and I think that's a better item for Anivia now. I would probably recommend going that, and just going, if you can, go Catalyst, some other tanky item. But Archangel staff, rushing that, not a huge fan. But, Anivia's going to have mana forever. That's, I got to give her that. She's going to have mana forever. But I would prefer a little bit tankier. Again, typically the way a typical Anivia lane goes if you don't DC is the only time you're going to really want to buy a tier now is if you can't really buy that Catalyst on your first buyback. So, in this case, I guess, went Catalyst because he DC'd, and then he just rolled it straight into Archangel staff. Or just rushed the Archangel staff.
Oh man, I'm reading the chat here, and I feel a little bad. Like they're kind of having a discussion of like, wait, hold on, your Nivea DC'd, and then like you didn't pause it. And they're like, well, he didn't want to. I'm like, what? Who does?
Who doesn't want to pause the game like to get back in?
I also got a message here. Looks like we have results. Team GG Ice has won, and I get to play with the new scores feature here, but it looks like Team GG Ice will move on. They have defeated XTY, a favorite here in the tournament, and they will move on. And it looks like Team GG Ice will play the winner of Mr. Barney and Zombie 2.
Yeah, and again to point out two teams.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I completely misread. They're going to play the winner of Lieutenant Rox and Lindell. And looks like the winner of this match will play the winner of Mr. Barney and Zombie 2.
Nice. GG Ice actually was a replacement. Originally, we were going to have VV Altex in here as a captain, but due to practicing and scheduling conflicts, he was not able to make it. So we actually replaced him with GG Ice, who actually is the captain of Triumph at Rice. And we'll probably get to talk a little bit more about them in our next upcoming games. So again, sorry guys about these pauses. The player has reconnected. We should start soon here, I'm hoping, and get our game underway. Again, we have some other games going on as well. Again, the login times have been really long today for League of Legends, so some of the games got started a little bit late. But we should have more prizes and stuff rolling on here as we move forward with Judgment BC.
Also, this just in. Apparently, I have fan trolls. Thanks to the lovely Kelso, who's like, by the way, Joe, a couple of your fan trolls joined the stream, and she eventually had to ban one. That's cool. I appreciate that. I got fans that are also trolls.
That's how you
So
know.
shout out.
You know what, that's how you know you've made it. You know, when you get haters, that's how you know you've made it. And then, yeah, it looks like LeBlanc's gonna be really scary here because it looks like she just wants to go back and she's gonna pick up that DFG. So she'll have DFG plus Rabadons. At that point, you know, that's her peak. That's the scariest she's gonna be in this game. Pretty much is right here. You know, after she finishes that DFG.
And that is still scary at this point. So it looks like blue team will have the Ludus reconnect.
And he's all in already. He's back in. He's like, I'm ready to go. I was thinking about chasing down ShinerCCC this entire time. There's the ult, and they're gonna feast on ShinerCCC a little bit there. And now here's Anivia's power. She has to come in here, clear these waves, and even though they're down ShinerCCC, they should be able to stop these pushes. And that's gonna be the key. That's gonna be the key to their game. It's just, you know, to use their ability to clear waves to halt the pushes of the blue team and not get picked off.
I do have a bug to report to Riot. They have a new feature that they'll show a death icon on the screen when someone dies. But when someone for the red team died, it left behind a purple skull and crossbones. So I think, you know, they forgot to introduce colorblind feature to the death marks. And meanwhile, Baron doing work here.
Yeah, Ludus in full retreat almost dies. At least he's still going to get his Baron buff, though. He's about 100 hit points. Looks like Red Team's going to run in here, find out that they're in a little bit of trouble. Double O Samer probably could have blue pilled there, but he didn't want to take the chance. So yeah, Red Team's actually just going to have to go into turtle mode, which, you know, again, like I said, you know, with a DC, the way it happened with their team, that's probably their best option against, you know, a LeBlanc blue team with no real good wave clears. You know, let them push in, clear the waves faster than they can. As long as you're 5v5, they're going to have to engage you under the turret to make something happen if they want to make something happen.
And this could be, I mean, like you said, this could be the best thing for them. Now, well, obviously it could be better if the other team didn't quite have Baron, but the lanes are going to most likely push in their favor at some point. So if they can turtle up, if they can catch up on some of that farm, like you said before, LeBlanc is not, like, she's as strong as she's going to be right now. She's not going to get any stronger. She's either going to one-shot someone on your team or, you know, or she's not. And if she doesn't, then she's done for in terms of a team fight, if you can sort of survive that. Anivia has the rebirth, or with her egg. You've got, you know, a spell shield on Nocturne. So Nocturne can still somewhat be a threat.
Again, they got to be careful. They got to be in position. They're not in position. Ezreal's bottom, and you know, that's really giving up a lot, I feel like. I mean, really, it's pretty simple at this game for the red team. Just, you know, just constantly rotating lanes. It's boring, but it's the way that they're going to win. If they give up too much damage on these turrets, it's really, you know, it's really bad for them.
I almost feel like they should just let Ezreal split push and keep Anivia back to defend. I mean, obviously not the best play.
Here's the full engage. They feel like they're far enough ahead. They're moving in here. Malphite going to be tearing down first. That's actually a good thing for them. They don't mind too much about their tank. Nocturne all in there, trying to go double saber, but he's actually on the clone. He realizes a little bit too late. He's going to fall, and now blue team just too far ahead, taking down this turret. They get that engage under turret. You know, red team had to be there earlier, destroying that wave. So if they went under, it had to be fully under a turret, and it just doesn't matter at this point. Got the Baron buff, got the lead. Coming in here, good stun by Anivia right there.
So those on the Samer kill death assist watch. 7, 2, and 6.
A little bit different from 16, 4, and 7, I think it was.
I was close.
Yeah, you know,
I think the disconnects put me at a disadvantage here.
Oh yeah, clearly, because if he was there would have been more kills.
The GG well played's coming out. We do apologize for the disconnect issues. Judgment is about playing quick events. Uh-oh, we might see a dignity kill here.
Oh, Strike Kaze trying to get out of this double saber, coming back in. They might get a save on here. Has that GA that's going to pop up, so they're not even going to get the kill after all. Double kill. Uh-oh.
Come on, extend this game. LeBlanc needs to get more kills. Oh, okay. The KS by the and there's so it is unfortunate about the technical difficulties that Riot servers were having and the connection issues. The Judgment event is intended to be fast, but it's also intended to be repeated, meaning we're going to have future judgments, specifically in the BC area. So it's not like, oh man, I got to only play one game and I'm done. If you do win one, you're guaranteed 3 games because we do play out for third place match. So you could win 2 and then, or you could lose your second match and still play for third place. But unfortunately for half the field, they got to go home, or they won't get a chance to play another match.